Services. All right, welcome everybody. So let's call to order today's May 23rd, 2023 Ways and Means Committee. Remember, the microphones are sensitive, so please no extraneous talking, and also make sure you turn your phones down. The microphones are sensitive and we'll pick it all up. So at this time, please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag.
Let me know if you'd like to add a time or location. You can say something like, set it for 5 p.m.
Under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Apparently Alexa doesn't know the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pardon me, Chairman.
Maybe it was I pledge Alexa.
I don't know. Well, welcome everybody. Carry on, roll call.
Anagnestakis, Brescia.
Here.
O'Donnell.
Here.
Fagion.
Here.
Hines.
Here.
Sierra. Paduk. Cheney.
Here.
Finn.
Here,
3 absent.
3 absent and 1 extra Alexa. All right, so first up, we have Dr. Christine Young, President, Orange County Community College, or substitute.
He's gonna be late.
He's gonna be late? Oh, that's right. Thank you for the reminder. So next up, then we have probation. Timothy Davidian, Director. This is a request to reallocate state aid, which was raised to age funds, to capital project number 323, body worn cameras, in the amount of $126,609.29. This reallocation will negate the need to issue bonds for capital project 323. Motion in a second, please. Brescia and Hines. Welcome, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is probably the last opportunity I'm going to have to come back and give money back. Because of the delay in reimbursement from the state, Raise the Age money was able to be reallocated. So we're able to put this entire year's payment towards the capital project in 126,609, so that we won't have to bond for the body cameras and tasers for this year.
Okay. Sounds pretty good. Questions from committee members? I don't see any other legislators present. All in favor as presented? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend. Have a safe holiday.
You too. Thank you.
Next up, veterans. Christian Farrell, Director, Veteran Service Agency. This is a request supplemental appropriation to the capital project budget to purchase 2 John Deere Gators TH 6x4s currently on state bid. This is not in the 2023 capital plan, and upon approval, a new capital project will be created in the amount of $30,000. Motion in second, please.
I make that motion.
Second.
Cheney, Fagion. Christian.
Thank you, everyone. These 2 Gators we're talking about, we have 2. The very old one is 2007, one is 2014. 2007 is really inoperable, so these are just to replace what we use. Get multi-uses on the cemetery grounds, from helping with services, also moving the granite grade markers, 70-pound granite grade markers. So they have a lot of functions with landscaping, all sorts of things. It just helps us continue to do the job that we do. And I'll just add, we're talking about cemetery. This afternoon is when the Venetian Valley High School students, about 20 of them, come today. They come twice a year in advance of Memorial Day and Veterans Day. So if you have a moment, please stop by the cemetery. All the flags, about 4,000 flags are up on every grade marker there. So these people just help us do that job.
Okay. Questions from legislators? Quick question. How come it wasn't in the capital plan?
We don't have, well, it's kind of a,
You have an opportunity.
yeah, no, I mean, we don't normally replace the equipment with this type of, or we haven't replaced this equipment in quite a long time. We've used other things to improve the expansion and things like that, but the equipment hasn't necessarily done anything with that, with these particular items.
Okay, but that's a reason to have a plan for the capital plan for us every year. Just minor point, that's all, for the future.
I appreciate that.
Okay. Any other questions? Mr. Hines.
You said there's 4,000 people buried there? Is that-
Nearly
that's
4,000, we're getting
exactly-
close to 4,000, no, just short of 4,000. Actually, we're discussing that today. But yeah, last year we had most veterans we've ever, unfortunately, or spouses, we had 257 burials just in the calendar year last year. So but it's approaching 4,000 since the cemetery was opened in 2000.
Anything else, even cemetery related? It's fine. Hearing none, all in favor as presented? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Have a safe holiday. Lawrence Ledoux, Commissioner. Welcome, Lawrence.
Good afternoon.
All right, A is request supplemental appropriation of funds for the proposed 2023 capital project expenditure to replace beds utilized for resident care. The inventory of beds has reached economic life. Replacement and modernization are necessary. This is proposed capital project number 132. Upon approval, a new capital project will be created in the amount of $515,000 to come from bonding. Motion in a second, please.
Second.
Lawrence.
We've replaced mattresses and purchased new mattresses in years past, but I've been at Valley View for 10 years. We haven't bought any beds, and they're just past their useful life. So we have a quote here for 260 beds. We are able to capitalize this expenditure onto our Medicaid rate, up to 75% of this expenditure onto our Medicaid rate in the future.
So these aren't the lift beds, because I know we had a program for those.
Those are lifters. Those are different.
Lifters.
Lifts. Those are actually lift the residents. These are
Okay.
the actual beds.
Okay. All right, questions from legislators? All in favor as presented? Aye. Opposed? Carried. B is a request supplemental appropriation for a new capital project for the carbon filtration water project. This project is not included in the 2023 capital plan. Upon approval, a new capital project will be created in the amount of $375,501 to come from bonding. Motion in a second, please.
Second.
Okay. Lawrence.
So there should be an attachment that gives a brief summary of why we need the carbon filtration center. Our water has tested high during some quarters for trihalomethane, which is a little over the limit. And this capital filter project will alleviate that problem.
Trihalomethane, where's that come from, do they think?
Disinfection byproduct of chlorine.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Yes.
Shea. From the engineer. Thank you, sir.
I know the Village of Florida, we get our water from, has done some things to address this issue,
Mhm.
but we need to do something internally as well. In addition, we're going to have our water tank, we're putting out a bid shortly to have our water tank inspected and cleaned as well, which may help as well, but this will be in the facility and it will connect right into the main pipe for the water coming into the facility, and it should alleviate the problem.
Okay.
Yeah, just another thing, this filter project, carbon filter project had to be approved by the Orange County Department of Health.
Okay, yeah.
And it was. So it was drawn up by an engineer, a plumber, and the plans were approved.
Okay, yeah, I would expect them to have oversight.
Yep.
All right, questions from legislators, committee members? Hearing none, all in favor as presented? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Thank you, Lawrence.
Thank you.
Have a safe holiday.
You too.
Carrie. Come up to the hot seat.
All right.
Welcome, Michael. And Andrea.
Thank you.
All right, sales tax update.
Okay, so like we do every month, this is the update for May. I will be looking at the first sheet that explains that. So for the month of May, we are up 0.41%. or $94,000. Overall, year-to-date, we are up 3.31%, and still compared to last year, we are up 7.89%. So the trend is looking still positive.
Okay. Are we expecting another payment for the month of May?
No, we are done for the month of May, but in June, we will have 3 payments. So it'll be a
Okay.
little tricky because for timing purposes at the June committee, I'll only have 2 out of the 3, I believe.
Okay, but I thought it looked like there was days there that we should be getting an extra payment, so
Yes,
the
so, yeah,
extra
it's
payment
coming
comes in
next
June.
month.
Okay. Questions from committee members? Nothing? Fine. All right.
We're ready.
Anything else you would like to present?
Well, I'd just like to say that today we found out that we just received our 27th GFOA Award for Excellence in Financial Reporting. So it's a great honor
Nice.
to my staff
Yeah.
and to you guys as well, and to the county exec's office, and to all the departments, because it's a big undertaking. That's for last year.
Mm-hmm.
So we're excited about that.
Good. Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess you're temporarily relieved until after that.
Exactly, then I'll come back up.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Come on up, Deb. Deb Szynski, Budget Director and Assistant Director. All right, again, discussion, budget update.
Okay, so again, the taxation has not been posted. It will be posted back to January when that gets done. State, federal, and other revenues are higher, as are the contractual expenses. This is due based on, we're gonna do a reversal of the accruals after the audit is completed. Personal services and benefits represents 8 pay periods. The percentage from last year to this year, both in benefits and salary, are less than last year. And that is basically due to the number of vacant
Vacancies.
positions that we have. So we'll go into the vacant positions.
Mike isn't here, but what do we got?
Okay, so we have 350 vacant funded positions. In May of 22, we had 333 vacant positions. In March of 2020, pre-COVID, we had 189.
So we were doing pretty good there, and went up a little bit, huh?
Yeah, we went up before. Okay.
Okay.
Legislator O'Donnell asked us to identify the amount that it would cost to fill all of these vacant positions. So if we were to fill 350 vacant positions for the next 18 pay periods, it would cost approximately $21.6 million.
Thank you.
And 18 pay periods.
18 pay periods.
All right.
All right,
Anything else?
can I just,
Mr. O'Donnell?
So that money is budgeted and goes into the general fund
It
at
is.
the end of the year, so.
Correct.
everybody
correct,
understands.
okay,
Yeah.
correct.
There's a big circle.
Big circle. And I just want to say that GFOA has awarded us the first time ever budget presentation award.
Oh, nice. They liked your presentation
They
and
did.
program at
Yes, they did.
NISAC.
Did they? Yeah, good.
Good.
We're very proud of that.
I saw that at the association.
I think you did, yes. He
Yeah.
told me you were there. He told me you were there.
Oh, very good.
Okay.
Very good. Next on financial forecast summary, questions from legislators. I haven't even had a chance to read it yet. Comments from you?
So basically, this does include all of the budgeted funds that we do in the budget. As you can see, the 2023 adopted budget to the modified budget is a big variance. We are working on that with our budget process, our grant process, so that's going to take care of that hopefully by next year. The projection that I have for 2023 is a $31 million surplus. Basically, that is mostly budgeted funded positions. And just as the 2024 forecast, that is a budget forecast, okay? The increase is 2.7% over the 2023 adopted budget, and it's a 1.8% increase on the county taxation over the 2023 adopted budget,
2.1%?
2.7.
I thought so. Okay. Great. Anything from committee members? All right. Okay. Terry, want to come back up?
Sure.
We have an insert here for an ARPA update.
Yeah.
Do you have handouts?
I do have handouts here. Ready? He doesn't have one. I think the sheriff.
Oh, Carrie Ann's got one.
There's an extra one.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Slide.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so basically, we have, claimed 2021 expenses, 2022 expenses, and Q1 of 2023. We have also included the encumbrances that we have to date as of Q1 2023. So basically, it's just, this was the proposed budget, and we have the balances left.
Okay.
We just thought this would be helpful after we file our quarterly claims to give you an update on where we are with the spending of the money.
Questions from committee members? Again, seeing it just for right now, it's a little bit to absorb, but anything strike anybody? Anything that we should be looking at that,
No, I mean, as you can
Is a
see,
highlight.
from 21, where we only claimed $10,000 to where we are now is a huge improvement.
mhm.
So that's what we're most excited about, and we continue to
And
spend.
in Q2, we are going to encumber some more funds because we have heard talk from Congress that there could be some clawback.
Right. So what's our projected balance?
Zero.
Well, hopefully it's zero,
So
but
basically what they're talking about with the debt ceiling and stuff, yeah, they'll take it back.
Just that you shouldn't be holding.
If we meet the deadline, you're okay. We're-
Well,
if, right,
I don't know what the deadline's going to be now. That's what they're kind of talking about. If we haven't got encumbered and obligated, that they might take some back, but yeah.
Okay.
That's why we're trying to get it all encumbered as soon as possible.
Mr. Cheney.
Just an update for the legislators who weren't at fiscal services yesterday. DPW reported that all the projects that they have in the ARPA program are on schedule to be completed in time. They've got a lot of equipment purchases. They feel that the delivery times on the equipment purchases will be able to be met. So I intend to kind of keep our finger on that pulse as we go forward.
And we also have weekly meetings with every department. We bring them in to check on status updates with that as well, along with the county exec's office and general services. And each week we bring in someone on the hot seat to see where they stand with the department.
That's comforting to know.
Yeah, that's a reoccurring event.
Mr. O'Donnell.
Every single department.
That has, I apologize, that has
Has
a project.
One per,
One-
one per meeting.
Department
Yeah.
per meeting.
per meeting,
Mhm.
but everyone that has a project comes in every week.
No, so like last week we had Parks come in, ask them for their
So
time.
one
and stuff.
department per week.
Yeah.
One, so I, sorry.
Okay.
Any other questions? Mr. O'Donnell.
What is this security here, $6.3 million with DPW?
So that is for security for all of our all of our buildings. It includes swipes, any kind of cameras, those types of things.
Thanks.
Anything else? Or legislators? Hearing nothing? Thank you very much.
Thank you for the last
Have a
minute.
great weekend. Oh, no problem at all. I'm flexible, you know that. All right, next up, we'll go back to number 1. Paul. All right, so this is a proposal. Request supplemental appropriation of recently approved ARPA funds by the legislature for roof replacement, building envelope renovations and other repairs to Morrison Hall, and roof replacement on Horton Hall, both at the college's Middletown campus. Engineering, project plan development, regulatory review per historic buildings, and project bidding will take place in 2023 and Q1 of 2024. Actual renovations and roof replacements will be completed in 2024 or Q1 of 2025 at the latest. Underline that part. The requested $5 million represents 50% of the total projected project cost of $10 million, The remaining will be supplied by the state of New York ARPA funds. Motion and a second for discussion, please.
So moved.
Sasha, Cheney? Sir?
Okay, well, first of all, thank you for accommodating my schedule today and allowing me to move down the agenda. This one is fairly straightforward. As you know, in the previous session, you approved the ARPA budget, which included this project for the college. And recently, we had the first of what will become a regularly scheduled meeting of the finance teams from the county and the college. And at that meeting, it was suggested that it would be appropriate for us to ask for the full 5 million through a resolution now in order to get the process started, because as you know, the other 5 million will be coming from the state. And it's just a little bit cumbersome and a little bit time consuming to get it. We, at this point, are only spending money on the engineering. We just completed the RFP process and made the awards. The letters went out either yesterday afternoon or this morning to 2 contractors that will be doing the engineering, one of them on both of the projects in Morrison Hall and the other one doing the roof on Horton Hall. And so that, though the engineering will be done over the summer, probably 1st of October should be completed. And that will, at that point, we'll have a much better understanding of the total cost of the project. We'll be able to put some bids out, with the most important piece being the roof replacement on Morrison, which we would hopefully have done over the spring and summer of next year. The Horton project will probably be the 3rd one done in case there's any delays or if there's any money problems or whatever. So the Morrison piece is key. So that is how it came to be here today, and we obviously will update you at each stage of the process as we understand costs and award contracts and so forth.
Okay. And the New York money comes from the dormitory authority?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right. Any questions, Mr. Cheney?
Why was it split between the 2 firms, and was that your original intent when you put the RFP out?
The 2 projects in Morrison Hall really need to be the same firm because they interact with each other. If you're doing something to the envelope and the roof, you know, there's an intersection. And so having one party responsible for that. The Horton Hall project is actually, it's a building of similar age, but it's a different type of roof. And so there's no economies of scale, particularly having one firm do both roofs. And the way the quotes came in, we had them break them out. And it just so happened that the fellow that was the lowest on the Morrison projects was higher on the Horton project. And one of the firms that was higher on Morrison was the low bidder. So we saved about $80,000 by splitting it up.
Financial decision. Good. Good to have that flexibility.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions? Hearing none. All in favor as presented? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Would you like to move at the legislative sessions like this to behind Paul Wiley? We can put you at the back anytime you like.
I like being first normally.
Okay, I just thought I would ask.
And that's no insult to Mr. Wiley.
No, Mr. McCary always went last as well.
I thought we were going alphabetically.
Yeah, we call it that.
Thank you, folks.
You're welcome. Have a great weekend. Mr. Wiley, come on up. Paul Wiley, Director of Real Property Tax Services, deed sale parcels. Motion and a second for discussion, please. Resha, second. I'll second. Sir.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks again for the opportunity to present these to you today. So we have 3 bids for 2 properties. The first one is a narrow, odd, L-shaped strip of land across the front of several parcels. We have a bid of $1,300 for back taxes of $1,432.21, but $353 of that is penalties and interest of ours. So I recommend that we accept this bid and sell this property.
Where'd this land come like that from?
I can only imagine that it's one of those vestiges from the way the subdivision was done originally and should have been required that it was absorbed into the other parcels when that happened, but it was not. And we'd have to go back and find the original subdivision to prove that, but we don't have that kind of control over the towns when they do things.
Mm-hmm.
We just get the results of them when the people don't pay their taxes years later.
Okay, so this one piece of property that we're selling borders 3 different lots? 4, 7, and 9?
Yes,
And the original owners didn't want to subdivide, or the property owners there didn't want to say, well, I'll take this piece and you take that piece?
right. Apparently not. When it was done that way, it was, again, probably a vestige of when the road was put in or when the subdivision went through. And it's not an adjoining property owner either that's buying this one. I wish it were. And
That's what I'm saying. It would make sense, and we contacted these 3 lots to say,
right, we have reached out to them in the past. I know that we went and we did all the adjoining property owner letters in the last year or so. We've been reaching out to them.
okay. Did we propose to break it up into 3 different lots that would match their outer boundaries?
We have not, only because there's no real benefit for us to do that other than cleaning up tax maps and hopefully preventing something like this from happening in the future. It's a bit of work to do that, and then there's no guarantee that these people would buy the parcels. It would just be.
Okay. So the new owner can propose that and sell it to the people.
They could, if they wanted to. Right now, the people have access across the parcels via easements or right of ways anyway.
Mm.
It's one of the reasons why these properties don't often get purchased is because there doesn't seem to be much of a benefit for it. No one's putting a fence up along these parcels and trying to prevent anyone from accessing them.
Mm, okay. All right. Number 2.
So number 2 is $30,000 bid on it's 26 acres, I'm sorry. We had a bid on this one a couple of months ago, and the bid was far below what we were asking and the back taxes due. In fact, that's bid number 3, or 2B in this case, where the person has doubled the bid from 500 to 1,000. But here we have a bid for $30,000, which covers the more than covers the back taxes, penalties, and interest of 26,000. And I do recommend that we accept this bid and not the other bid.
Okay. And just for the records, can you explain the different colors of green?
Sure.
I'm sure it means wetlands, or depending on how wet wetlands, right?
Right, they do mean wetlands, and one is the state wetlands, one is federal national inventory of wetlands. And it's almost a moot point which is which at that point, but you'll see how they overlap throughout the site. And the lighter green, I believe, is state, and the darker green is national wetlands inventory.
Okay.
Just so you know, the property is zoned AR, which is agricultural residential zoning, 40,000 square foot minimum for a single family residence. Arguably, a person buying this could divide it into smaller parcels, but they do have to deal with the wetlands. So
And so this is real close to the intersection of 300 and Quaker Street.
correct.
Okay.
It is also divided by an overhead power line.
Okay. All right. Questions from legislators on any of these 2 proposals, number 1 and number 2? All right. All in favor of taking the commissioner's recommendation to sell parcel number 1 and 2A? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Have a safe holiday.
Yes, you too, everybody.
All right, so last up was an addition that I put up. Again, it's just basically something that we do all the time with sending recommendations of support of proposals or legislation of other government entities. This is a resolution of the Orange County Legislature in support of the town of Newburgh's opposition to the siting of the Ulster County Resource Recovery Agency landfill in the town of Plattekill. It probably should say possible siting in the town of Plattekill. Motion in a second?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. All right. Again, this was a proposal. It's been in the news. And I think it's appropriate to bring it at this time to, again, I don't think it's a good idea. And I don't think anybody really in my part of the town or my part of the county thinks it's a good idea. Today, Kevin, do you want to come up? We actually have a friend of mine, counterpart, Ulster County legislator, Kevin Roberts.
Thank you.
And it's his district, and he wanted to make some comments as well, because I believe the proposal was to like reopen the Hertel landfill, which was closed back in the 90s and is a Superfund site. So,
Yes, there are two sites currently being considered, both in Plattekill. Ulster County is the size of Rhode Island. They hired a geologist to do a landfill site study, the Resource Recovery Agency. That's the agency that's contracted to get rid of all our MSW. Currently is brought to Seneca Falls up in Rochester area, some 4 hours away. So out of a county the size of Rhode Island, they could only find 2 sites right here. Both of them happen to be in my neighbor and legislative district, but still my town. After hotel sites is a Superfund site. The county is currently planning on putting a solar array up there. So that site may be taken off permanently. But the other site is near Camp Sunset Road, Site I. It's troublesome because there's Lake Sunset right there on the property where the 200 acres that they want to buy take over. There is a series of tributaries that run through it, including Black Creek, which runs down to the Hudson on the other direction toward Esopus. But Quisea Creek runs south into Chadwick Lake. As soon as we did some investigation, found that out, I contacted my colleague, Mr. Benton, and he got in contact with the powers that be in the town of Newburgh, including the water department, which said, yeah, that runs into their water supply, which, you know, it's quite a lot going on, which I guess the town of Newburgh supplies Marlboro, Cornwall, and the Windsor on an emergency basis water. So it could be troublesome if that landfill is ever sited in Plattekill.
I agree. Questions for Mr. Roberts or any comments? Mr. Hines?
Yeah, did the Ulster County Legislature take a position against this as well?
Not yet. We had a vote up there. It was inconclusive. We're going to bring it up again next month. I can tell you that the town of Plattekill, town of Marlboro, and the town of Lloyd and town of Newburgh have all taken opposition into it.
There was actually a vote of the legislature, you said?
And it was inconclusive. So on a procedural matter, we're going to bring it up for reconsideration next month, and we intend on winning that vote.
So
one of our members were absent.
When you say inconclusive, what was the result?
It was 12, it was 11-11, and one, which is a dead tie, but one of our members on our side flipped his vote so he could bring it up to reconsider it when we have a full body next month, when we have the full 23 members.
So it wouldn't have passed with 12 votes then?
It was 12 against at the end of the day, but it needs 12 to pass. Yeah. So it was 11-11 tie, and one of our members flipped. One of our.
Was it Republican, Democratic? What was the Democratic? I would think, right? I mean, your clock is your Republican.
Our clock.
What would the rationale be for the Democrats not to be against this?
There was 5 Democrats that did support I would like to think this is a bipartisan matter, but there is a majority party. There is a widespread thinking that a landfill is needed in Ulster County due to the fact that we are currently the lesser of 2 evils, trucking our debris 464 miles round trip. And the carbon footprint is worse than having a landfill in some part of Ulster County.
Well, at least
I'll support you. I thought you were here for the roofing.
I did hear roofing. My ears did perk up.
Well, I will make a comment on what he just said. I'm glad the Ulster County Legislature and Resource Recovery Agency realizes that the carbon footprint for a trash truck is from your start to the landfill and back. If you've been hearing about any of these climate leadership matters with the state committees and the DEC, they particularly were speaking with my boss and who was trying to educate them. And he said, they literally told him, well, we only care about delivering it to the landfill. We don't care about having to have it come back. We're not including that in the carbon footprint coming back. So, you know, it's like
The trucks have to get back empty.
they only want to see what they want to see, is what I'm saying up in Albany.
Yeah, there might be a need for an approach for a landfill. It's not off the table with the vote up in the county. And Plattekill, myself, we didn't ask not to have a landfill in our town boundaries. You know, of course, we don't want it. We just want these two sites taken off the table. Obviously, one's a Superfund site and the other one, you know, has the tributaries that, you know, the watershed.
Mr. O'Donnell.
No, I want to thank you for coming in and bringing the attention of our chairman.
Well, thank you, you know, my esteemed colleagues from the other side of the county. I do appreciate it. I do sit on the Ways and Means and up in Ulster County, and I definitely have to report back. You guys have a great setup here, and love the TVs.
Yep, video stream.
Yeah.
Mr. Cheney.
So, yeah, just for clarification, I believe you said that there are only 2 sites under consideration
Currently.
after the original study, because there was an original study done that was kind of a geographic information system kind of precluded.
That was the original report was done. It's kind of a backstory to it. It was done in 21 at the request of the DEC. It was given to the DEC. They picked areas out. I don't know if the areas were recommended, but you know, there's not too many 200-acre parcels left that fit the criteria. You know, automatically you rule out agriculture areas, anything residential. So these 2 sites were the only 2 that came back that had geological qualities, bedrock and stuff like that in Ulster. The report after it was put out was put on the back burner. We didn't find, after it was given to the DEC, it wasn't talked about. We didn't hear about it in Plattekill or most of us in Ulster County until one of the board members was appointed again and got mad and leaked it to the press. Even after it was leaked, the Resource Recovery would not give it to us even after we foiled it. So, you know, there is, you know, something that we're not proud of with the open meetings law and stuff. It should have been handed over right away.
Does the legislature have the authority to override the Resource Recovery Agency?
Yes, we do, because they don't have the bonding capabilities to bond for a landfill. They're limited by our authority to only bond for 500,000, and a landfill is probably going to cost 40, 50 mil, easy, rough X.
And has any work been done on the Hertel landfill relative to removing it from the Superfund list?
No, it's going to be a Superfund site for as far as we know. But when they put the solar array on it, if they do, a lot of the townspeople don't want that even there because, you know, you're disturbing the ground, even though it's supposedly safe. But EPA will still be monitoring the site afterwards.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else? All right, again, Kevin, thank you for coming.
Thank you all. I
Make it
appreciate your
today.
time.
All right. Last is just all in favor as presented. Aye. Opposed and carried. Again, it's a little unusual for someone to speak from the audience, but welcome. I'm glad you could make it. All right. Motion to adjourn is in order. So moved. Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Thank you very much.